Is President Bola Tinubu governing Nigeria perfectly well? I don't know. You're taking time to answer.
No.
Okay.
It's not a question that really would require one wasting time on.
But you are wasting time.
Do you understand?
Okay.
The point is, what's your definition of governing the country well?
Give us your own definition, and I judge the administration based on your own terms. You are at liberty now.
Good. Having given me this liberty, the implication is that
you shoot yourself in the leg.
No.
Okay.
It's about the fact that in politics, in governance,
don't answer the question.
Within the party system. No, I just need to lay foundations so that
there's no building site here. Yes. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the point is, every party, like I always say, unfortunately though, party systems in Nigeria do not have ideology,
including APC.
Party systems generally across board.
Okay,
across board.
Thank you.
So, largely, what you have is the individual's objective, the individual's belief system perception of what they think is the best. And one of the things you would agree with me is that sometimes there are certain transformative steps that their effects and results do not always manifest rapidly. That's the fact. And then, having said the fact that the party systems in Nigeria are devoid of ideology, a single goal that this is what they stand for. It is now left at the wings and comprises of who occupies the power there, and that's exactly what it is. So within the context, within the program of Mr. President, the truth is that he's doing well.
Okay, he's doing well. What are the policies of this? Give us 3 economic policies of this administration. Name 3.
Well, we've had for instance the removal of the fuel subsidy.
That's an economic policy.
Of the removal of fuel subsidy, and then as it has to do with the tax reliefs and all of that.
Tax reliefs?
Yeah, within the tax reliefs, yes, yeah.
They gave to rural.
There were some certain goods that were exempted from taxation.
Do you know who these goods are?
Certain essential goods as it has to do with
baby food,
consumables and some medicals too were included, exempted from taxation within a time frame. Yeah, the specific time frame I may not be able to lay hands on, but they were exempted from taxations and all of that.
Okay.
Now, largely, the removal of the fuel subsidy we know have really, beaten so hard on Nigerians and all of that. Well, you discover that it's not likely a thing of strictly because of the government as it were. It's more, or if you like, more or less a global thing. But then I must
saving from fuel sources. So
I must agree that
please agree.
Yeah, I must agree that somehow there is the place of absence of willpower to take certain drastic measures as it has to do with making sure inflation and all of that is dropped.
So Bola Tinubu is incapacitated willpower wise?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily incapacitation as it were. But then again,
he chose not to.
But then no. It boils down to, like I said, what he feels is ideal for the people.
Do you think what he feels is ideal for the people is indeed ideal based on your own perception and conviction?
Well, just having regard to, if you like, the effect of the overall decisions and all of that. We may admit.
Where is the money we have saved so far from subsidy?
Well, Mr. Farm, we were told that we have saved some sums here from first subsidy, and
How much were we told that we saved?
it is running into trillions actually.
So where's the money?
Well, it's in the coffers of the government. If you
Doing what there? So it was saved to be just be the coffers of the government. Is that the sense of saving it? Well, let me come in there. The president told us on 11th of July 2023, just 1 month and after the removal of the subsidy, that we saved over 1 trillion just in a month on the removal of the subsidy. Now let's reconcile it with the data coming from the Debt Management Office, DMO. The president met our debt profile at 88 trillion. And in less than 2 years, we are now indebted to about 126 trillion. So a custom is the first quarter revenue generation by customs is even over 1 billion naira higher than the ceiling given to them. So every year, customs generates more than they are even mandated to, making money. FIRS just gave us their first quarter of the year report. They got more than they were even given to get. We are saving from subsidy, yet we are borrowing like a helpless child. So how would you reconcile this before a judge of competent court of jurisdiction?
Well, I think the only thing that explains that is that somewhere, somehow, there is, if you like, lack of proper management of funds somewhere.
So Okashu will come to Anambra to have the same lack?
No, certainly not. I've said this before. They are two separate things. They are two different things entirely.
Would Okashu govern Anambra like Tinubu is governing Nigeria? Yes or no?
Well, I would say in the terms of the economic decisions and all of that, no.
But
yes.
But in what terms?
He will not.
But in what terms would he?
Well, it's not necessarily. Well, let me just give a straight up answer that yes, no, certainly no.
So that is to say, okay, you've taken it back. So that is to say that Bola Tinubu is not governing Nigeria well.
That's not.
Because if he's governing Nigeria well, why can't Okashu copy what Mr. President is doing?
I told you that it's an individual thing. So you cannot expect it to copy exactly because this is Anambra. Anambra has its peculiarities.
They told us they want to reconnect us to the center. That means they want what is happening in the center to happen in Anambra.
No, that's not.
And if you Barrister Daniel is not comfortable with what is happening in the center,
that is not the sense of the reconnection that we are actually preaching.
So what the reconnection?
The sense of the reconnection we are talking about is that there is need for federal presence.
Okay, let me report into that. Exactly. Now go to Imo State. What is the federal presence in Imo State that's on Anambra? What is the federal presence in APC? Don't take that to answer. We are listening.
It's now when we talk about the federal presence here, it's about the fact that there's an added advantage that the party in the national
is in the state.
What is
this advantage? We want to hear it. So know what we're getting into.
Exactly. One of the advantages, for instance, is the fact that the chances of issue of disbursement of your allocation, non-disbursement of your allocation doesn't arise. For instance,
has Anambra complained of not receiving their?
No. It's not necessarily. Not necessarily.
So why do we have to go APC to receive what we're already receiving?
Beyond that, beyond the allocations and all of that, it gives an edge that yes, there are certain things that will not necessarily happen in the state where the party in the national is also in the state. Not just the fact.
Okay. Tell us quickly how the Okashu will govern differently from the way Bola is governing. The sharp contrast there. Tell us exactly. Anambra listening. You ought to have paid for this campaign, but I'm giving you a tax freedom. Yes. So tell us what Okashu would do differently, because you agreed that he will not do what Bola is doing.
No.
An indictment.
That's what I agreed to.
No, sir, you said no, that he will not govern the way.
I said Okachukwu is a different entity.
No, sir.
And certainly
you said no.
I did a distinction. Actually,
before you said economically no, and I asked you which other way. You now said okay, generally no. So we have taken you on your no. That is to say, Bola Tinubu is not governing well, because if he's governing well, he ought to have copied.
And I did explain that my saying no, it's not actually to discredit the national entirely, but just to say that this person is a different entity.
Tell us how Kashuku will govern Anambra different from how Bola is governing Nigeria.
It is not different from how Tinubu is governing Nigeria.
So he will give us back to back what Bola is giving us. Is that what I'm saying?
No, it's not about governing differently from the president.
Okay.
No, it's about the fact that he will govern Anambra State within the context of Anambra, because these are two different things. You will not be comparing the national with just a single part of the national.
The approach will be same, but application may differ.
Yes.
So what is the different approach? Or Kashuku, if in the Anambra should give him their vote that will govern in the next 4 years?